Hi guys, and welcome back to Mums and Melanin. I'm Iola.
I'm Debbie.
I'm Takoni.
And I'm Corporal.
Guys, if you haven't done so already, we need you to subscribe.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yep.
Click the bell. Make sure you're following us on every social media handle. Instagram, TikTok, name it, we're there, we're dancing, we're saying something. So please, make sure you follow us. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yep.
Tell a neighbour, etc. Anyways. So today we've got an interesting one for you. I know I say that all the time, but it is interesting. We're going to be talking about different ways to discipline your children. I think that everyone has a traditional view to discipline and what their parents might have done or what they grew up, sort of how they grew up being disciplined. But we're going to talk about alternatives today and maybe make some suggestions, learn from one another. So, Debs, what are you saying?
So, I feel like with discipline, as parents, we're always looking for the right fit and for ourselves and for our children, right?
Yeah.
Because we stay saying this all the time. No two children are the same.
Yeah.
So I know me myself. I'm literally currently, as we speak, I'm still at the drawing board trying to figure out how to now discipline my youngest Amara. Anyway, I say all of that to say that there's many different things that I've seen online that I find quite questionable. One being, so like they have like a dolly or the child's toy, right? So say for example, they're at the dinner table and the child's not eating their food. So then they'll be like, do you want some food? Do you want some food? The child will be like, no. They say, okay. They'll offer Mr. Teddy. Mr. Teddy wants some food? Teddy said no. Bam, 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 bam. They hit the Teddy. And then the child is so like, then they'll now ask the child again, do you want some food? The child is saying yes, because they've seen what happens to Mr. Teddy and they want no
I
parts
remember
of
that
it.
in psychology. It's a way to condition behaviour, but no.
I feel
I don't like that.
No.
It's some form of abuse, no? It has
Yeah.
to be.
I think it could be.
You're basically showing a child the consequence,
Yeah.
but that's not the consequence. You're not
That's
going
the
to
thing.
like
You're not going to be your
what?
child like that. So
You're
what
not.
you're showing them is
It's extreme.
extreme, so that you're forced them to eat. So I suppose you're playing a mind trick on them, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's actually quite sad because now they're going to associate not doing the right thing with getting beaten like Mr. Teddy.
Yeah, definitely.
Or not eating.
Yeah.
Or not eating or whatever.
Yeah.
True.
And I just feel like that's very extreme.
Yeah.
Very, very extreme.
It is extreme.
Like, maybe like, I can understand the concept of using the child's favourite toy to try and work brain on them to get them to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
So maybe I would say like, I don't know, like put Mr. Teddy on the timeout. Mr. Teddy's not allowed to play. Or Mr. Teddy has to go on timeout because he needs food. Things like that the child will understand, okay, I want to play, so let me eat. Something like that, that's not so extreme.
Something that you would
And
do
that
to the
can't-
child,
that
most
won't
probably.
cause long-lasting damage because you don't know what that's doing to that child.
But
So-
then I think what I prefer is the other way around. So reward rather than the discipline side, it's the reward. So showing that, look, you can get this or you benefit from the good behaviour rather than if you don't do the good behaviour, there's a bad consequence. You know what I mean?
I do that at the moment. Like even this morning, he's not really like, you know, some children you put them down to eat and they just finish it. Micaiah needs a lot of encouragement. I just think he just gets a bit distracted when it comes to eating. So I wouldn't say he's the biggest eater, right? So I'm always like, okay, once you finish your food, we're going to do this. Or once you finish your food, I'm going to give you this. But sometimes I do feel like I can't always say I'm going to give you, I'm going to take you. It can't always be.
But sometimes it's in.
This morning he was sitting on my neck. Where you taking my food? My whip? Because I was just like.
No, but sometimes it could be their usual. So once you finish your food, you can use the iPad, or once you finish your food, you can go and watch TV. It's the normal daily. It doesn't need to be reward, as in you're getting a gift or ice cream. It's their usual. So okay, once you finish your food, you go and play.
Okay, so think about Micaiah.
simple,
I'm
yeah.
Obviously, he's my child, and maybe like other people will have kids like Micaiah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Micaiah's the kind of child you tell him you'll go and play and say, I don't want to play. So now that tool's already gone.
Yeah.
And then you start with, you can watch your iPad. If you don't let him have some type of distraction, bear in mind it's just him. It's not like it's him and his siblings eating a meal. So obviously it's probably a bit more boring for him because it's not like everyone's eating Weetabix on the table, right? So for him, and I ain't eating no Weetabix, so I suppose I'm not really joining the party. So for him, if you say something like you're not getting you'll have your iPad after you finish your meal, that meal's now going to take where it would have taken 15 minutes already on a very, very good day, it's now going to take 25 minutes.
Yeah, he's not the one to...
I just want to watch number blocks and do my learning. Makai's very smart. He knows what to start telling you as to what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know... Oh, it's
why are you doing my way?
This is actually it's so boring without nothing on my iPad. Mum, give me my iPad, I promise. So I just feel like I understand what you're saying, and I think in theory, and sometimes it may work, but consistently, I just don't think it does.
The expectation that I'm gonna get something, and if they don't get something now, that is itself is an issue.
Exactly, and it's like, how long will I raise you on that?
Like,
Do you know what? Do you know what I think? I think it's about consistency. For me, it's worked because. Okay, cool. You're gonna sit there then. Right? What? You can't go and play, and the rest are playing, or you know, like people are getting on with things. I'm getting on with things. You're still there. So the next time you're gonna realize, okay, actually, I need to hurry up because I kind of want to move on from this. Like over time, it has worked. Even Sienna's a slow eater till now, but you're not gonna move on from this until you're done. Like be done. And it's not. It's not. No. Like. Then you can go and play. Then you can go and use the iPad. Then you can go and do whatever.
Okay, so you're saying reward is how you get them to do what you want to do.
Yeah, but not with like toys or gifts or things or ice cream. Okay. It's more until you finish what you're doing and then you can go and do like your normal. So it's kind of like into the daily routine rather than like a reward.
So in terms of discipline now, what's your go-to?
Time out. Time out is for now.
Do you do it by minute per age? Or how do you do your time out?
It depends on what they've done. To be fair, it depends on how I'm feeling. It depends on what they've done, if I'm totally honest. And it depends on what they're doing as well. If they're screaming, crying, you're going to stay there longer. Like until you've calmed down, until we're going to sit down and talk, until we can do that. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not. And you know, for Sienna, she doesn't get time out. Sienna's like, she doesn't want to get in trouble. She's very much chilled. She doesn't, But Azariah and Zeke, especially Azariah.
Do you implement the, you know, like super nanny, come down to their level, eye contact, tell them what they've did wrong, what's gonna happen, and then leave them there to deal with it, or is it just go and sit on the stairs?
No. Yeah, I tell them what they've done wrong. I don't know if I think about the eye level and all of that. It's, no, you don't do that. Go and, you know, go and have your time out or whatever. And then I ask them to calm down. Because more time they're in hysterics, more time, especially Azariah, she's crying. Okay, go and calm down. Once she's calm, I'll sit with her and we'll talk. Okay. And then explain, okay, look, what you did was not nice or whatever. Next time, do this or whatever. Yeah, we'll have a conversation then. Have you calmed down? Okay, cool. And she wants hugs. So this is what I struggle with, because when she's crying in hysterics, when she's done something that's naughty, she wants to be comforted. And I'm like, no. And I put my foot down. It's very hard because I feel like I'm rewarding you when you've done, you know what I mean? Like in that moment, it is.
It's so tricky, isn't it?
I feel like it's. I'm trying to. I'm not helping your behavior. No, in that moment you've done something wrong and you want to pacify. I feel like you're playing game on brain with me. That's what I feel.
At one point it will become game.
Yeah.
Children are smart. So if in the first instance
you've done something wrong and you want to hug me straight away.
I'm gonna cuddle mummy, she's gonna cuddle me back.
And then it's done.
But you can still hug.
Or can you cuddle back and send them to the? That's what I was gonna say.
No, Azariah wants a hug and she's not going.
If it's a child that knows that if I get a hug, and if I cry, mama's giving me a hug, all that's going to happen is that you're going to hug them, you now send them back, they're going to cry
and
again.
Also you're encouraging that
that
meltdown. It's like, okay, cool, you can cry, fine, but I don't know, when in that moment she wants a hug, she wants to be comforted, and I'm like, no, maybe I'll give her a quick whatever, but most of the time I try not to, and I'm just like, once you've calmed down, then we can hug and we can talk.
It's so tricky.
It is
hard.
hard.
What I find as well, similar to you, is that because Makai does like a hug, but what I do to him, I just say, Makai, Mummy loves you so much.
Yeah.
But, so it's like I've reaffirmed you by my words, but you have to go and stand or sit, or you need to go and have your time out now. And then when you finish, Mummy's going to talk to you about it, we're going to have a conversation, and then we can move on to X, Y, Z. I
find it hard to talk when they're crying.
Because kids will run you if you let them. Like they'll manipulate it. They will, because who doesn't want to cuddle over sitting on time out? Do you know what I mean? So if they know that this button equals cuddle, they're going to keep pressing it.
Right. And I think maybe with my kids, I know that they're very much like that from baby. They know how to press my button. I can tell that they, if I allow them, they'll really try and run me. So it's really tricky when they're upset, but I'm like, no. go and have your time out. And I can't talk too much when they're crying as well. All that explanation, one they're doing it, I can't. It's hard to talk.
Yeah.
So, okay, I know for me, when my kids are doing the absolute most, you know, you feel the anger rising inside of you. I've had to learn over time to control that anger and the way it comes out. Because there's been times when I just snap and I'm like, leave me alone! And then it's like, they're looking at me like,
Yeah.
so I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, whose beast is this? But it's just like finding the balance between being angry and coming across very intimidating.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to remind myself that actually I'm dealing with a child.
Intimidating.
And this is where why I mentioned Super Nanny, because I used to religiously watch that program. You know me, I love everything children, but she would say come down to their level, like, because we're bigger than them anyway. So imagine someone so big being so angry at you and you're looking up at them like, ooh. So like I was very mindful of that. Yeah, it's quite it's very scary.
Yeah.
So I've tried to, don't get me wrong, my voice is very loud, but now I'm consistently loud. So if I'm shouting, I'm sorry, there has to be balance in life. I'd rather be loud all the time, so that when I'm loud and angry, it's not so shocking. Do you know what I mean? And if I'm always quite like, come on now, guys, and then randomly I'm like, they're gonna be thinking my mum is crazy. Like literally yesterday, these kids were jumping on my bed. I said to them, I'm going to deck you. They looked at me and laughed in my face.
Because they just know it's just joking.
They just know I was joking, man. But they laughed in my face, and I thought to myself, all right, cool. One day. But the fact that they knew that I was joking, and because I'm consistently like, hello.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side now, the jokes, they won't take me seriously when I'm actually telling them do something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's even the flip side I feel with shouting. I shout so much that it is not of no effect.
It's just
Like until I get very angry and then it's like, okay, this lady means business. But why do I have to tell you so many times? Why can't you listen the first time? Like I think for me, like Roma go and sit on the stairs or go and face the wall, and it's just listening. And I don't know. Now I'm trying to marry up. Maybe my expectations too high. But why don't you just listen? It's so many things. But then also, like me and Francis were discussing, and then I don't always listen. Do you know what I mean? So he can be saying something to me, but I'm doing something else. And I heard him talk, but it's like a distant memory. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm doing something. I'm doing something. So when I finish now, it's like, oh yeah, you said oh yeah. So I did. Do you know what I mean? So then I'm thinking maybe my son is like, we say the same genes, maybe he's like that. I don't know. Maybe he's just engrossed in what he's doing. But then, so what? I say all of that to say. So he still sits on the stairs and all of that. But I am trying to talk to him. And even, I guess, the speech and language makes it a bit difficult because I'm trying to explain the importance of listening. So I'm like, you need to listen because if there's a fire, they may say, run, you need to go. You need to, you're missing important information if you don't listen. Do you know what I mean? Not just like go and eat your breakfast, but you don't know what the person's saying, so you don't know what you're missing out on. So I'm trying to explain that. Even that, I think the word important may have went over. I'm not sure. Do you know what I mean? But where I'm just trying different ways, but he's on that step very often. So much so that he's going to be 2 in June. To him, it's a game. So I'll be like, Judah, don't do that. He walks off. Sorry, mummy. Goes and sits on the stairs. Oh, bless him. It's just like, hold on. I haven't slipped to the stairs. Your sorry, mummy's even insincere as you're walking. Sorry, mummy. And he goes in. So currently, I'm not sure what's going on.
Do you give warnings? I'm going to use the first time. If I have to say it a second time or a third time, this is what it is going to be.
No, it's just straight to the stairs and I feel like it. But maybe.
I found it very, very interesting. The guy said, if you give your children warnings, you're a fool. Because you're allowing them free opportunities. Like if you're saying count to 3, you're giving them free opportunities to not listen to you. And when I tell you, it made so much sense.
No, it's a bit, come on, they're children.
Wait. As children, if you tell them the first time, they should do it, right? Because why are you giving them another opportunity to not listen? You say, go and sit down at the table. They don't listen. I'm going to count to 3. 1.
Yeah, no, the counting doesn't work.
Tell me how many of our children.
The counting doesn't work for me. No, mine when
they do it on 3.
Yeah, they wait till 3
run.
And they run, I don't mind the counting though. I don't mind the counting.
No, I don't actually. It doesn't work for me. I feel like a mug. Every time I count, I feel stupid.
The thing is,
But
my thing is, what I say is, if I have to say it again, then this is the consequence. So it's do it now. Or if I have to say it again, you're on the stairs or time
The thing
out.
is, you don't want to
whatever.
be too easily offended with children because
it.
there's a million things they could do in a day, and it could
No,
just
that
be
they
an
will
hour.
do.
They
No,
will
they could do.
do.
But it's not
And the thing is,
but that's what he's saying.
If you tell them
but
to do something, they should do it straight away.
But
they're
they're fine. Hold on, but
children.
what you find is that when you're shouting all the time,
You don't have to be shouting.
but we do. Let's be honest. So when we're shouting all the time, they're still doing the same thing over and over again. Like that's why you're shouting all day long. Let's just be real here. Yeah, it's happening, right? Okay, so I feel like with children you have to give some type of grace. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know how the child's mind works, but I do think they have 1,001 things going on in their own little minds with what they're doing, what they want to do. I feel like they're just buzzing in some way. I don't know how to describe it.
I do, yeah.
So because of that, I do think that children with kids, I just think you have to have a measure of some things. There's some things I'm never going to count for you because it was just completely no. It was a no-go area and you went there and it's just a no. So there's not a counting matter.
Okay,
There's not a warning matter. This one is 0 to 100.
But in that,
You're fully in trouble.
How
they
does
do
it
it straight away? Then what?
But how does the child
No,
know
they've
the
done
difference
something,
between
it's
those
not
two
don't do.
situations?
Yeah, that's what
They
I'm
know
saying.
because the reaction, like I said, is 0 to 100. So when I'm saying to you,
But
like,
before, I'm
for
saying before it
example-
happens. So how do they know that this is a situation that mum is going to give me grace for or not?
Okay.
So say for example, maybe Makai decided to jump from one high something and jump all the way down, and he knows that that's a no-no. And I'm like, Micaiah, I've told you about this, it's extremely dangerous. I use them words, extremely dangerous. Do you want to be in hospital? Do you want to get injections? That's what I say to him. Because I know he doesn't like it. So you need to know that if you hurt yourself, if you break a bone, they're going to give you injections. You're going to be in the hospital. This is reality. Do you know what I mean? And I give him that reality. So he knows, mummy's extremely upset. She's using words like dangerous, hospital, and then you're going on your time out. So he knows them words. I can't start saying that's strike one. So you can jump again and break the head for real and then I'm in the ambulance. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then if it's little things like, I don't know, I told you not to touch the flower on the side and you went to go and touch it, you haven't moved it, I'm like, that's strike one. If you touch it again, it won't be good for you. That's kind of, I don't say I'm going to strike two, I say it won't be good for you. Usually, it's unlikely he's going there again. Or he'll be around and be like, Mummy, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I'll be like, yeah, but so that you don't get to strike two, just move away. Mum, I'm nowhere near it. I'm nowhere, do you know what I mean? But I find that with some things, the counting down and warning things work because you just don't want to, you don't want to spend all day being angry at your child.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like all day long I've just been shouting at you. All day long you've been doing something wrong. I don't want you to feel like every day. Because bear in mind with kids, their memories are quite like short. So in between every time they're in trouble, they're going to remember for the whole day, I was in trouble today. Because every like hour, something is wrong. So I don't want them to feel like that. I want you to feel happy, go lucky, and joyous. And that's why I think there has to be different. And sometimes even they're doing, Makai's doing things and I'm like, he just needs air. So I'm like, come, let's go to the garden and run around. Because actually, maybe it's not that you're trying to be naughty. Maybe you just need something to express yourself because in school. And
Sadiq says that a lot, innit? That he just wants to have fun.
He just wants to have fun. It's not necessarily, it's just that they're a bit confined. They're getting a bit bored of whatever's around them. Go outside, climb something. And you just find that you could have just escaped the whole problem. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes looking beyond the little niggly things, especially when they're repeatedly doing, I feel like there's something more here.
But in situations where you're counting down, it's more so like, it's time for dinner, sit down.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's things that you do so often that I shouldn't have to tell you twice. As opposed to stop doing, like, they're not in the midst of doing something like dangerous. It's very trivial things that you know what to do, you know what's expected of you. I shouldn't have to tell you twice, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm saying go wash your hands for dinner and you're still sitting there, you've looked at me, I know you've acknowledged me because you've looked at each other and said, can you go wash your hands for dinner? As I'm looking at you like this and you've done
Well, that's not nice though. They should go.
Hello. So in that now, before I used to be like 1, 2. It's the day that they started counting with me.
Yeah, that thing is very good.
When you started counting with me, I realised
this counting thing ain't
It's not
working.
working. Fair. You have to switch it up a bit. Yeah.
And you know when you speak, your phone be carrying everything. That's when I saw the video of the guy saying, when you're accounting for your children, you're a fool. I said, I'm a fool. No more.
So what do you
I
do
guess
now?
it depends on the
Now
child
I
though.
say, go and wash your hands for dinner. You didn't wash your hands for dinner? No problem. You're not eating. Or I'll do something so extreme that they'll be like, what? No! With Amara, you're going outside, the fox is coming for you. That fox.
Do you know what? Sometimes
I have a
I
warning. Makai's one is I'm calling my manager. I don't know what he's never seen the manager. Till today, I don't know what ideology he has in his mind. But even sometimes I'm like, Mummy, I'm eating, don't call your manager. I'm like, don't worry, I'm not gonna call her. And it's working for me for now, so I'm using it. Any little thing, I think I'm gonna have to call my, and I start bringing up, let me call my man. He'll just change it up. But I think the thing is with children, different children are different. What they react to is different. And also their ages. Like, because at once upon a time, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would have worked for you. You knew when, okay, now they're mocking me, they're counting with me, then you have to switch it up. So I think you just have to be aware of when you need to
change up
take up the tone with the child. Do you know what I mean?
And sometimes there's a communication as well. So like they have short attention span. Sometimes they just got a million things going on. I have to have your full attention. Look at me. Again, Azariah, look at me, and I'm talking to you. So I don't count down anymore. I'm telling you exactly the instruction. And if you're not listening, then there's a consequence. Let's say, for example, the whole wash your hands before dinner, and you're on an iPad, for example, and you look at me, you carry on an iPad. I'm taking the iPad away. So
because that's the problem.
So I'm dealing with it that way, and it's okay. Yeah, you know what you need to do. So I'm not counting down anymore. It's like, okay, I need your attention because you're doing up iPad, TV. If the TV's on, I'm switching it off. I need to get your attention.
When I count down, it's usually when I'm calling Makai from upstairs. That's most of the time because he's engaged. Definitely, he's playing with something. So I'm like, Makai, he might even be giving me the coming that we all gave our parents, and you're physically.
It's basically hurry him up.
Do you know what I mean?
So
it's like I want you now. That's usually when I think I use the 5, 4, 3 or
that
1,
makes
2, 3,
sense.
4, 5, whatever.
I feel like discipline has evolved over the years. Because as we're talking now, I'm thinking, I don't know if my mum was having this conversation with my aunties about because it was very much Tawa. If I, like when you hear
I think they did. It was just different for them. I close my eyes. If I open it, that's basically 1, 2, 3. You're giving me grace period.
But the level of fear and intimidation is different. Like,
because the consequence.
That's because we don't do
you're
our
gonna get a slap, a dirty one. So there's a more trepidation with it. Do you know what I mean?
They do it for you at least once. I remember I was in church. Right, this is when I knew that my mum was a serious person and she's not to be messed with. We were at church. I don't know what possessed me. I'm with my mates, innit? So finished church, I'm like, Mum gave me a packet of crisps. I was eating the crisps. I said, Mum, do you want a crisp? She said, no, thank you. So take a crisp, Mum. She said, I don't want crisp. Take it. Bam. Ooh. In my mouth. I just
humbled.
My friend, as we're sitting here like this, my friend was standing next to me like this. She was like, I didn't even look at her. I just looked straight. There was silence. She didn't. Her facial expression didn't.
It's like that reel with the little boy. It's so loud. It's so loud. He was screaming. His mum just came.
That thing was Isaiah. He was screaming.
Newspaper
in his mouth. And it was silent.
He was silenced.
You need to know
not that we do that, but my question is, if you were to hit your child across the mouth now, what are the odds that your child's going to say something like, ow, or you hit me, or just keep quiet?
That's Ezekiel.
In today's children.
And I would be like, why did you slap me?
Facts. They're not gonna. They won't keep quiet. They doesn't know.
Ezekiel, if you accidentally just, ow!
Why are you hitting me? I was in the supermarket with Roman.
Where'd you go?
I was guiding him around the shop. He's like, why are you dragging me? Why are you pulling me for? And then the white lady even looked at me and she was like, oh no, I know, like it's fine. Because the way he was screaming, it was just, I'm just trying to guide you through the supermarket. Even yesterday, my mother-in-law's birthday, we went and gave, so we bought ice lollies, right? He gave all the ice lollies to his cousins. Yeah. Grandma's like, can I have ice lolly? He gave her one. He walked off, he came back, he said, Grandma, say thank you. I was like, Roman, it's all right. And he said, no, Grandma. Grandma. I said, it's her birthday. Grandma, say thank you. And Francis is like, everyone's got the same rules. Everyone has to be respectful. So I was like,
but to be fair, I do agree with that because we're teaching them.
You want to teach them that.
So the way you taught them that is them adopting it. That's why he's saying it.
That's why he's saying it, But these kids, no chill. No chill. Why are you hitting me? No chill.
If my mum slapped me,
you just shut your mouth.
Why are you slapping me? There would be no
I'll show you why.
Exactly.
I'll tell you why.
Since you want to see my red eye,
my mum used to say, if I slap you, you'll forget your name.
But
those are the threats.
But wait, see, you mentioned the eye, yeah? Does that work on your kids? Do you give your kids the eye?
I've done it. If I close my eye, you're still in my room.
No, as in, you know, like an eye if you're in public and you're giving them like the eye.
I don't think my son sees the eye. I don't think he's not even looking at me. He's looking in the other direction. I don't think there's any eye.
Children's attention span is very, like I said.
Maybe when he gets older.
So if, let's say you got in trouble in the morning, and then we've gone out an hour later and then I'm giving him the eye, he might remember that eye means trouble. But if like everything's been hunky-dory for the last 2 days and he's playing with Roman's eyes, he's playing with Roman, and I'm giving eye, he probably even noticed mum's giving eye, she thinks she's blinking or something on the eyelash. He got nothing. So I don't know if it's an age thing.
Yeah.
Do you think we were older when we knew the eye?
No, I think they just don't care.
No, I think you had to learn it for survival. You were getting beaten and you
knew. Your mum was giving consistent slaps.
Okay, so the slaps are working, innit?
Bro, there was a time I ran to the bathroom, I closed the door. Don't worry, come out. If you come out, I won't hit you.
Did you open the door?
I had to one day, innit? I don't know one day. It's so I'm not gonna lie, yeah. It's bad, man. No,
bad, yeah.
We're saying it's bad, but really, look at where we are today.
No, babe, no.
You don't think so? We weren't getting abused, right?
No.
We weren't.
It
was within reason. Let's be
I could have done without it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You though.
You can't prove that.
You
We don't know when you'll be today.
I can't prove that because I did my own stuff anyway. I went off the roads in my own way anyway.
Yeah, but
when I was
guided
old enough, that the beats didn't matter.
No,
babes, no.
There's no way to be sure.
I don't know, you know.
No.
To be fair,
there was a post. Oh, did anyone see the post in the shade room about basically children that were raised in strict homes? How did it affect you? Do you know what I mean? And people were giving their comments like, all these psychological terms. This is that fear, perfectionism, fear of this. But then some people did come and say, you know what? I see. Basically, I've seen my peers, and I'm grateful for the strict upbringing.
But
so I just think it just
But then they're
depends.
strict, and then they're strict. And
I think it just depends.
Strict is. No, you cannot do
No,
this.
but I mean that I mean that in relation to what we're talking about with the hitting and how you end up. I think it just
But again,
depends.
I think the times were very different.
Of
so
course.
we all can relate, isn't it? We can all, but if you're beating a child now, they can't relate. There's no other child that is saying, oh my God, my mum beat me up.
No, when you say that in
slapped
school, you're not going home that night.
Exactly.
That's it,
My mum.
All your friends are taking you together to counselor. Let's go and report your mum.
Yeah, facts.
Literally. So the times are totally different.
Yeah.
Where then it was like kind of like the norm, innit?
Yeah,
Like,
you can talk about your battle scars. You can talk about
my mum slapped me. Oh, she used belt or whatever.
Back in like year 3, one kid's mum came to the school because the child threw a book at the teacher. And that mum, she came, she said, where is she? You know, we were all sitting down, we didn't know she was coming, she came through the door, she flung her shoe and that shoe kid.
The schools really tried back then. Don't enjoy it.
I think everyone plus the teacher was starstruck, like, huh? But nothing happened to her, and that child changed her way from that day. What? Very humble kid. The next day, hi miss. I said, oh, they flung shoe at you.
But then, okay,
It's
what do you
true.
think about for example, in our secondary school, we had a girl that she was doing the most in school. The school reported her to her mum. She's like, as we do, we're in year 9.
Yeah.
English was last period. We had to gel our hair. When we're going outside, we need to be looking like cool babes. I like.
Yeah.
Our edges need to be on fleek.
I remember those days.
The English teacher, she wasn't doing what she needed to do to keep the attention of the class. So we were gelling our hair.
In the class?
In the classroom.
No, you guys are different.
She went to
No,
our
we
report.
fully- I remember that.
Us at parents' evening. After parents' evening, this girl came to school. Her hair was gone.
Yeah, next day. We all ran to the toilet.
That morning, we ran to the toilet to try and do something. I'm sure it was like an
Yeah, I
older girl
saw
that tried
it.
to
To like help her.
Hair was
Oh,
like level 1.
Nah, level 1. Like it was very. Like, she had long natural hair. She had like normal hair, like mine. Like she had like.
I think the resentment you have
She
to
sent her to
understand
Nigeria. Then
is
she
too much.
got sent to Nigeria.
After that, because she didn't change
too
her
much.
ways
She was doing
after
too
that.
much. Or for gelling your hair, it's too much.
No. She didn't change her ways after cutting off the hair. Because basically, because the teacher said that she was contacting boys and stuff like that. Boys were involved as well. I think when African parents hear about boys, it takes to another level. So she hadn't changed. Because when her hair started growing, she started having braids. Remember the box braids? It was looking cute. It was cute. And then next thing you know, she's in Nigeria.
How do you tackle that though? Like,
That's exactly what I was going to say. Because there was a girl in my cousin's school, her mum shaved off her eyebrows.
Oh.
And you know that skin is very flabby. You know that skin, when there's no hair on it.
Eyebrows?
You know, it just sits as flabby skin, like just shaved off her eyebrows for her. And I just feel like these things are too much. Personally, I just think it's too far.
but how do you?
I think it's Nigeria them doing
But I think the parents
Yeah,
doing
true.
that because they don't want to beat the child black and blue.
No,
so you're
but-
trying to find alternatives, isn't
But
it?
it's taking away that
think
vanity.
it's too
You
much.
think you're nice. You're doing boys. You're doing all of that. Okay, cool.
but
How nice are
in
you
their
now
head,
without your
in their
hair,
head,
without
when
your
they went to
eyebrows?
school, the girls all had low cut. Do you know what I mean? What's a low cut? Like, it's low maintenance, isn't it?
It's too much. I don't know. Maybe, obviously, I think it depends on how bad your child is behaving, and you know, you obviously feel like you've tried everything and maybe nothing's working. I don't know, innit? But I feel like shaving your child's head or shaving their eyebrows, I just think it's too much.
No, the
I
eyebrows
just
is
think it's
crazy.
too much.
I think for the confidence, the self-esteem,
Even the hair.
teenage hair.
No, everyone's hair can carry low cut, you know. What do you mean? No, everyone's hair. Go girls. If guys don't know.
Not you, man. Those teenage years as well, you're trying to build their self-esteem up for adulthood.
That's what the cutting of the hair and the eyebrows, taking the eyebrows, is taking away that self-esteem, isn't it?
And I think one thing I try and bear in mind is that actually, like, you know, like we all obviously want well-behaved kids, isn't it? You want good kids. That's important, but they're not going to be kids forever. Actually, what I'm trying to do is make you like a well-rounded adult, because you're going to be adult from 18 to 90, 100 years. Do you know what I mean? Childhood's only 18 years. Like, actually, I need to make sure that you can be assertive, you can say no, you can say where's my thank you, like, do you know what I mean? You can do all those other things, because you're going to need that as an adult. Within reason, it's balance. It's balance.
But I do keep your parasite. Check our last video.
Oh, mate.
I'm actually being serious.
No, you're right. You're right.
Because parents, and I'm one of them too, we don't want to like quieten our kids too much. You want them to have their individuality. You want them to be confident. You want them to be able to speak. You want them to be able to own themselves and be comfortable in their own skin. But in the same breath, if they start bringing that confidence to you in a level you never expected, you won't know how to deal with it. And sometimes when it's too late, it's just too late. Do you know what I mean? Like, in all cases, so it is balance, and that's why I don't think, like, you know, they say there's 10 ways to skin a cat or whatever the saying goes. I don't think there's one way doesn't fit all. I think you have to keep changing. You have to keep switching up. I don't really believe in cutting the hair thing, but I do believe some days you're stricter, some days you're lighter.
I think it's education from young. Educating the kids from young.
So what to do and what not to do?
Yeah.
Or what's acceptable?
Always enough.
But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not.
And that's why I agree. Debbie said something in her old video where she said that, like, when her kids do something, she needs to constantly show them that she's stronger than them, she's bigger than them. And that's what I mean by constantly changing your way. Because that parent cut that child's hair is probably something the child never ever in their life expected their parents could do. You know, you have to go so over. I don't agree with it, but I have to go so far to show you that I'm still the one in control here. So whilst I don't agree with it, I do think sometimes you have to go like OTT.
But I think the punishment sometimes it needs to match the crime.
100%.
Because I feel like, again,
if it's not matching the crime, it's a bit abuse.
Back in the day, it's actually like, it's not what you did. Obviously, it's not great, but it's not so serious.
But then
one warrants like.
No, mine match my crime.
But if you're thinking of it, but if you're thinking of like a young,
I was ruthless. They showed me mine. It match 1-1 ratio 1. That's
so funny.
Because if you're thinking of like a young teenage girl that's in the mirror all the time, doing gelling, doing all of this, like wanting to do makeup.
Cut the hair off.
Cut the hair off. It's the hair that's getting you into trouble, right? Because in my head,
but the attitude doesn't change.
But guess what?
She'll still find the boys with the hair. It doesn't change.
But what I do,
you know, it didn't change her though.
It
didn't change her.
I'm saying, from the parent's perspective, right? Because bearing in mind, it was one thing at a time. So the teacher said, she's sitting in the classroom. That's the voice of the teacher. I couldn't stand that. Anyway, sitting in the classroom and she's gelling her hair and she's just not paying attention. It's a group of them, they're all doing it, but she just. So the mum said, her hair. So you think you are cute? No problem. I've got something for you. She cuts the hair off. So you're not gelling. So there's no reason for you to be gelling your hair in the classroom. You know, that's the problem. That's the solution.
But it didn't solve
problem. It didn't solve that, right? Because she continued, but the problem is
doing now, though?
she's dating boys and she's doing the most. To alleviate that problem, she sent her to Nigeria.
And again, that did not fix it either.
But see the whole gelling.
I don't know, you know, because when I went to meet her after, she was telling me that the school she goes to showed me that this person's rich, like all of them are all rich. They all have expensive watches. They do this, they do that. Show me her yearbook.
This is the thing.
Because she went to like.
But can I say something?
It's the mistake of just sending their child to Nigeria. It's depending on the school. You send your child to.
But can
you want them to fetch water?
Listen, if you send them to Bible school, army school, listen, like there's children in Nigeria that live in life in boarding school. Don't think like every school in Nigeria. There's rich kids in Nigeria that have bags that you've never seen in your life. And they have like provisions, as they call it, or whatever. So just sending your child to Nigeria is not necessarily the solution. It's where you send your child to Nigeria to actually be disciplined. Do you get my point? If you leave them with your sister, some people, the way they raise their own kids is different to how you raise your kids. What they see to be okay is different to what you see to be okay. And equally, they don't want to be said that you sent your child. I sent my child to Debbie's house. Debbie lives in Nigeria, she's my sister. Debbie doesn't want to be known to have abused my child.
Definitely.
She takes it easy on my child because they don't want to be heard that, Debbie was beating my child using her as house girl. Yeah. So you have to kind of understand what you're doing to the end, not that you just send your child to Nigeria. I have a family friend who got sent to Nigeria and he started driving when he was that big. He wasn't even 16. Yeah. What kind of luxury? A boy. Yeah. You'd be thinking, who's going back to England, mate? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So we have to see these things through properly. Just sending you to Nigeria is not the solution. And
I feel like the extremes are not always it. I feel like you have to just educate from early. Again, like my kids can't go to school. Like, see the gelling. you're gonna notice that child is coming home with different hairstyle. You're gonna notice your child is coming home with freshly gelled hair. I'll see it. From now, Sienna's 9, don't change your hair at school. I don't care. Don't bring out this one. Don't.
Yeah,
as I send you to
me,
school, you come back the same way. No, but it's that's the rule.
I was saying what you're saying,
but it eliminates.
You won't always know.
No, but how are you gonna come home with gelled hair?
You gel it in the first period, set up by night time.
No.
What do you mean nighttime? You're coming.
No,
You're coming
to gel it in last period.
last period because you're gonna go outside, right? When you're coming home with that gelling. Where did you do this?
So what if they just have a bottle of water and they take it off? They take off the gel before they come home.
Or what if they say they
Guys,
did
don't
it
forget
during
that children are
lunchtime?
tricky.
What about you have to have your you have to put your
I
eyes
used to wear
down.
contact
You have to
lenses
watch.
at school. I was even selling it.
Yeah, me too.
Putting it in.
Me too.
Babe.
I used to do the same.
Business lady.
I used to wear grey.
I was selling heart lollipops. Like
Nah, babe.
ordinary girl.
Contact lenses.
I used to do the same.
I had hazel colour. Yeah.
The mixed grey and
the
hazel.
greeny, browny one, the blue one. All of us.
We
Anyway.
didn't wear contact lenses there.
I did.
Anisha, I know them. They have to
In secondary school.
Mine is too small, babe.
My point is, I wear it all day long on the bus with that small little compact.
You're
I'm
removing it.
that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
The one day I thought I was brave. I thought my parents were snoring. I said, "Oh, let me just do it in the toilet because I'm meeting up with a mate that's to the bus stop. I don't want to do that at school." Guys, I was putting it in. I put the first one in already, and I thought I locked the door. No, I thought I locked the door, but I didn't lock the door. Obviously, I think because I thought they were sleeping. I just thought I was cool. The door just opened and I was trying to pull it out, the thing ripped in my eye. I was going like this. Oh my God. I was like, what are you doing? Nothing, mama, my eyes have been itching me all morning. What? Let me see my eye. I said, no, don't worry, I'll solve it. The thing had ripped in my eye. And somehow, I think maybe, I must have had maybe the box on the side or something. You know?
Oh, she saw that.
Pull this eye now. My God. The drama. What? The drama. So this is what you are doing in school today, right? Tomorrow, blue eye, I'll be like.
But you know, I guess the lesson is, if you're gonna do a rubbish, don't do it around me. Don't let me see it.
My lesson was, don't worry, I bought a new one. I wore it at school the next week.
That's fine.
Do you get my point? So that's
doing
what
it
I feel
outside.
Like, as much as us parents say, oh, you know, I will know when you come home different. Children will just condense the hours to which they do what they do.
Yeah, and that also is gonna put them in. Relax them small because it relaxed me. I wasn't able to do the things that other girls were doing. As much as I wore contacts and whatever, I couldn't go raving. couldn't do sleepover. Yeah. So it would still narrow down the things that I was gonna do.
But remember, you're a good girl. There's some kids that they're rebellious. But
my friends, I wanted to, but I wasn't allowed. I wasn't allowed. My mum wouldn't know. I wasn't allowed.
Because I just wonder, like, not everyone's. You know, some people will go. They will test and test and test. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the fear level's not enough, you're gonna test that a little bit more.
Yeah, and if the parent is standing firm,
the majority of kids, though, isn't it?
It is. Kids just test boundaries. Genuinely, if their genetic makeup to test boundaries, to try
we all did.
See how far they can get.
And I think the threat for me was the fact that I was gonna get sent to Nigeria. That was the thing that was keeping me. If I didn't have that threat, I wonder how far I'd go. So I think it depends on what you feel the threat is and if it measures up enough for you not to push that boundary.
My question is, are we aiming for respect or fear? Do we get them to listen by them respecting us as, okay, mummy said don't do this, so we don't do it, or if we do this, mummy's gonna come for us?
I didn't have any heavy consequence growing up. I didn't have any big fear that my mum was going to do something. Maybe it was more respect to my relationship with her. Like, we had a good relationship till now. Like, especially my mum.
Do you think it became respect? Because I do think it becomes, there's an age where the respect for you starts to make sense for you. And the age where you just don't really think about respect. Does that make sense? Like, it's just not a reality per se.
But maybe
it's just a norm.
It's subconscious, right?
I just don't want to upset her. I don't want to, like...
respect you, but it's just subconsciously in the way they act. And, you know, like, if you tell your child to do something, yes, mummy, like, even if they've done something wrong, and then you correct them, in their way of acknowledging, you can tell that, okay, like, the respect is there. So, for example, if I tell Isaiah something, I know that he knows that, all right, cool. Sorry, mummy. Yes, mummy, I know. And then even though he may do it again, I know...
It's alright, I'll be waiting to cough anyway.
I know it's because he's a child and his memory is just... He'll even say, Mama, I just didn't remember. It's not because, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, for me, it's like, as much as I want you to fear me, because me too, I fear my own self, but also, I want to have that relationship. Like you said, like, just do it because I'm your mum. Like,
Yeah,
you
you don't want to upset me.
So it's a bit of
I think it's a character though.
A healthy balance.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah, because I know that with Kiana, I know we're at a stage now where she's doing it because, alright, cool, mum. Even if it sounds absurd and she's looking at me like, why, mum?
Yeah.
She'll do it because mum said.
Yeah.
But I also know at the back of her mind,
She's cussing.
she knows that woman is a girl stable. Let me not toe the line too much because we can revert back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think
but I don't feel like it's necessary.
And I think as they get older, it has to be respect because
Yeah.
ultimately they're gonna be maybe bigger than you, and in adulthood as well. Like
the foundation to grow the respect or what?
Yeah, that's what it is. Because when they're very young, I don't think they really understand. Like you said, they forget things. It just happens. It just whatever. Do you know what I mean? They have different priorities. I think they don't necessarily understand the whole like this upsets mummy. Like
It depends though. I think it's a character thing.
It may not be as magnified in their mind, should I say?
I think it's a character thing because Zeke, he's 3, he's never like getting in trouble. Before, like Sienna may report, Zeke splashed water in my face or whatever. No, mommy, don't tell me off. No. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want anything. And I haven't even showed him any smoke. He doesn't even know that mommy.
My niece is like that as well.
Probably.
Because you know, like he's seen
So
it.
My niece is the only child and she's like that as well.
Yeah, some kids don't like it. Yeah, some kids are like that.
And what the school they've put her in is like not too strict, quite creative, because they're like she's already hard on herself.
Yeah.
Why are you now gonna put her in an environment where it's more pressure? Do you know what I mean? So I agree. I think personally.
And once I picked up Zeke from nursery and he was coming out of nursery very quiet and the teacher's like, he was running around, so I told him off. And it literally he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. And that's just his character. I love it.
Yeah.
Good boy. If you dare change.
But I think also with the fear and respect, one thing like I don't want my children to be afraid of me.
That's it.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
Do you know
not
what I
so
mean?
much that they
I
can't
don't
even
think
be.
it's fair of you though. I don't think we're talking about. I don't know.
No. I'm just
we don't want
following.
that.
No,
You're
but
right.
following on from that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want you to kind of like.
Not have a relationship with you because you've grown this like.
Yeah, not even what I would do or my reaction. Yeah, like you're kind of like. I don't. When I started to see that, I didn't like that. Like it was just a bit like,
Yeah, am I doing?
I need to think of. Yeah, I need to think. Is there another way to do another better way of managing this? Do you know what I mean? Because I want you to be disciplined, but I'm not a monster. Like it's so tough. You're always thinking of different things, different techniques. You're always
But
just
did our parents
thinking.
ever realise that with us?
They didn't care.
Yeah,
They didn't care.
Because I actually think it's really sad when I tell your child off and they're flinching. Like, what's that? You're not
They didn't
my
care.
type
I
of,
was
like,
flinching.
what?
They didn't care.
So it kind of reminds me, literally just the other day, as I did something, I won't say what it was quite disgusting. I was just like, like I was highly irritated by what he had done, and I was just like, just can't sort yourself out. You're just nasty. And I was like, Mummy, what did he do? I was like, he's just being nasty. He just needs to go and sort himself out. Previously, I had reacted differently. I had shouted at him because what you had done is ridiculous. Stop that. But he was like, Mummy, you're so calm. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you're just calm. He wasn't calm before. And I said, well, what would you prefer me to shout at you? He said, no, but exactly. Well, if you like me being calm, it's better that you don't do these things, isn't it? I'm being calm now so you can understand that what you're doing is not correct. And if you continue to do it, I can revert back to what I was doing. He said, okay, Mum. And it's like, even him saying that, it's like, he's so used to me shouting and just...
But it's something that he's noticed though. It's a good thing.
He's very observant.
Yeah.
And it's nice that he could tell you.
Yeah.
Because again, these are things that we couldn't really do.
What are you coming to comment?
Very calm.
Yeah, okay.
Mummy, you're very calm.
Yeah.
You want to see that?
As I grew up, I could say to my mum, actually, like, there's been times when we've had conversations, I'm like, you harbour things so much, and then you just explode on me.
That was it.
And then you're shouting at me, but you're not shouting at me because
of
I've done
one.
today. You're shouting at me because last week you went to go and do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why did you tell me I'm
Adding it up, adding it
Why
up,
did you tell me
yeah.
I'm not? You know what I mean? So I was conscious that I don't want to be piling things. So I'm just like, when you do something in this moment, I'm telling you what you did in this moment.
Yeah, they're gonna forget as well.
I feel like, okay, you two, if there's some, even like if I'm doing too much,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say sorry to my children.
Yeah.
I'll
No.
discipline
Yeah.
you. But then afterwards, if I feel like I did too much in that
yeah,
moment,
say sorry, yeah.
you know what? When you say sorry to me too, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I said sorry to Isaiah, he looked at me.
Yes. That's so funny.
Okay. I said,
Yeah, I think it's important to lead by example when it comes to apologising and things like that. I think
agree.
it's not good to not be able to. You're telling your child to be able to acknowledge their wrongs, but you as an example can't do it. Like, it is important. To
and also, you want them to respect you, but you're not showing them respect. You need to show them that respect as well.
Yeah.
Before you round up, I kind of just wanted to point out the things that we've said for discipline, right? Using the teddy or the treasured toy.
Hold on, are these things that work? Because why is...
No, just
okay.
ways of discipline. You said alternative methods of discipline now. Right. But we've gone through the methods. Like, let's kind of,
recap.
There we go. That's the word. Final thoughts, Abby. R.I.P. Jerry Springer. Using the toy. Shouting.
Cutting off hair and eyebrows.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What's the
naughty steps, timeouts.
Slapping,
rewarding.
Yeah.
We didn't even go into positive
positive room for like gentle parenting. I guess gentle parenting. That one doesn't.
I really want to. It's just not working for me.
It's not working for me.
And I even know a couple that went on a course for it, and it seemed like it was, and it's just not working. I think there's just certain age groups that it's just tough. Yeah. Like that. I think under 5, under 6, it's just. It's just tough, but God give us strength for the cause.
I think it just depends on the child. Like,
there's
some kids that you'll find that are under 5 and it works for them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel like
they can sit down, they can...
When the child has siblings, you don't want to be gentle parenting A and then B is getting the harsh vibes. So I think that's the difficulty. But some children will actually probably do really well with gentle parenting because there's enough for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And some kids, they need to kind of see you in the form of Peter Pan or Tarzan before they know what's really happening. So anyway, I really did. Jackie Chan. Anyways, guys, we hope you've enjoyed this video.
Yeah.
We would like to hear from you, what you do, any tips that you have. You kind of probably have an idea of the ages of our children and what we're currently trying. If you have any suggestions, we'd love to know. And try and implement them ourselves.
Comment.
And if you're struggling and you want to hear a bit more from us or on the gentle parenting side, let us know and we'll be right back here on another Tuesday. Okay. So have a lovely evening and enjoy.
Bye.